Join FM Talk 106.5 and LNS Air on Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th, as we celebrate our veterans.
Mobile Mornings will be broadcasting live from 6 to 9 Monday morning from the start of the Veterans Day Parade route near the Mobile Civic Center. Come by and see us, LNS Air, and the veterans before the parade.
Mike Bailey, a pioneer of the Gulf Coast wine scene and award-winning food entrepreneur.
I know a lot of you wonder what to do with your moon pies, so I've got some wine suggestions for you. Lemon moon pies, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, or Pinot Grigio.
Stuart Reb Donald, acclaimed food and travel writer and world-class chef.
I was the chef de casserole. I made the casseroles in the frozen food department.
For more than a decade, they've combined their expertise to answer your questions and introduce you to the culinary movers and shakers you want or ought to know. 4-time Taste Award finalists, 12-time Nappy Award losers. They are the dynamic duo of dining.
Drop, keep screaming for more.
Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Well, yes, some of that wine spoil. I think I'm gonna stay inside and wine spolio today and paint.
Really? You're not going to get outside and do some outdoor stuff?
I've already been outdoors.
Walking from the car into the
too
studio.
moist, too wet for me. But
It's moist outside.
welcome to the Sip and Chew Show.
Moist and chunky.
Moist, chunky version of the Sip and Chew Show. We, I appreciate Stu Rev Donald sitting in for me
That'd be me.
last week while I went to attend the memorial of a dear friend that we lost back during the summer. And they finally had this memorial yesterday, and I appreciate Stu, appreciate you and Steve and Phil holding it down while I was out mourning my friend. So anyway, been a great week except for this last 2 days of weather, but
We needed this.
we need that. We need more. Actually, we need a lot more than this, but
Or just like this for a couple of days.
that'd be fine.
Yeah. Less flooding that way.
Yes. So I've been in the process of moving into my new house, and I've been doing some painting. And I'm gonna tell you what, when you go up and down a ladder, and then you try to sleep at night, that hurts.
Does it
You
feel,
use the
does it feel like you're bobbing on the waves like a cork?
Well, you just can't get comfortable. And I've been painting, going up and down ladder, because you got to do the cutout part, which is painting the corners. And the stuff on the edges around the fixtures and
all that crazy intricate garbage.
Yeah, and
I just want to get in there with a spray painter and just spray everything
over it, paint the bed and everything else.
I tend to take the furniture out when I paint.
I put all on one side.
I've got the room that I need to paint now has this old nasty carpet in it. So I'm just going to leave the carpet till I'm done painting, then pull it up, restore the hardwood.
There you go.
Well, you said before we went on air that you were kind of paying attention to sports yesterday.
Yeah.
Tremendous win by Alabama down at LSU. That's Nick Saban said himself, it's the hardest place to play in the country.
Yeah.
It was very impressive. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's been a head coach for 3 different schools now for about 4 different schools now for over a decade. It's the first signature win of his career. He's never beaten anybody before. So that was impressive. But the best game yesterday did not take place on a football field.
Where did it take place?
In Houston, Texas, between #1 Houston Cougars and the #2 Auburn Tigers for the kickoff of the first week of college basketball.
And what happened?
Auburn went in there and handled that business.
Oh, wow.
Came out with a 5-point win, scored 74 points against the best defensive team in college basketball. They got them a team this year.
Well, good. I hope so.
Yeah, so we woke up today with Auburn having 2 #1 teams in college sports. The equestrian team's just devastating.
They kick butt, don't
they? They kick horse. Yeah, we're good at the horse stuff.
Yeah.
There's a related equestrian issue I'm going to say, but yeah, we don't.
I find that word hard to say. For me, it's hard to say, just like Worcestershire sauce.
Equestrian?
Yeah, equestrian.
Oh, okay. Some people-
And I used to,
Massachusetts. the
when I
amateur-
was on
Should
the-
not surprise you what team he cheers for when he has trouble with polysyllabic words.
and I used to be a pharmaceutical rep, but I can say those big words.
Drug dealer.
Drug dealer, yeah. But when I used to be on the board at the fairgrounds, I handled the equestrian stuff.
What
the
the heck you on the
barrels.
board for? I mean, were you just laying there?
I was a,
I was passed
I was
out.
one of their vice presidents for a couple of years. They said I did such a great job. They wanted me to do the same one year after year. And
For
what-
free.
What it was nobody else wanted that job because you had to be out there in the middle of that muddy field. I learned what gold bond, how the value of gold bond and good dry
Cornstarch.
good weatherproof shoes meant
There you go.
during that time. But
Cornstarch is a
Dude.
lifesaver.
I did watch some of the Alabama game, but I'll tell you how I watched it. I went down the road to DeMichael's.
Yeah, yeah.
DeMichael's. I went down to DeMichael's. It's on Theodore Dawes Road.
Yeah, I used to live right by there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got the Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwich with that stuff with Italian sausage. My God, that was good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That was delicious.
Yeah, I used to live in the apartments right behind Rouse's
Okay.
years ago, long before the radio days.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was a pretty cool little crib.
It was.
I shopped because it was a Food World then.
Yeah.
I just shopped every day. When it came dinner time, I just walked to the grocery store and saw what was on sale.
Mhm.
Saved a lot of money and ate great that way.
Well, you know, I kind of do that. Me being the bachelor guy that I am, I'm in the stores anyway. I go by the stores anyway. So I just, whenever I'm going to eat something, I just go ahead and pick it up on the way home. I'm there anyway.
Right.
So I just grab it and go home with it. That way I eat fresh. And
You know,
I do have some things that are frozen. I'll buy things frozen.
I've got a few convenience foods. I've got a frozen Chinese dinner
I don't buy any of that.
in the freezer for days when I don't feel like getting out or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of it is bread because I save the end pieces off every loaf of bread.
Mhm.
Throw them in the freezer. When Thanksgiving comes around, I've got bread to mix with my cornbread for stuffing, for dressing. Or if I need to do a bread pudding,
Mhm.
I've got the bread.
Got the bread.
Just save the end pieces. And a friend of mine's wife was like, "Oh, that's brilliant." She says, "Now she just saves the end pieces." She goes, "Nobody ever wanted them."
I like them.
It's my favorite part of the bread, man.
Yeah.
That's what I do by peanut
I
butter and jelly
work-
sandwiches with.
I
too.
work banana sandwiches.
Yeah.
I work from the inside out, and I save the butt ends last, and I use them.
I've never had a problem with them, but I just thought, well,
Well, some people don't like crust either, the edge. I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
But
that's the only part when you're dealing with American style sandwich cake, which is what we're talking about, that is actually like real bread.
Yeah.
In Europe, a lot of places refer to our white bread as American style sandwich cake because it's not really bread. It's, not, it's too much fat. There's too much sugar in it to be classified as bread, and not enough gluten.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, if it doesn't have, if you don't have to chew through the outside, there's not enough gluten in it for it to be considered bread.
Amen.
If it's all soft and stuff, it's cake. And if you prefer American style sandwich cake for your sandwiches, God bless you. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just pointing out what you don't love bread.
Yeah.
You love cake.
Cake. Oh, okay. That's
And
interesting.
Mike's okay with cake for lunch.
Hey, it's got all the healthy ingredients. It's got eggs. It's got milk.
Yeah.
All the healthy
Yeah.
stuff.
Put a cheeseburger, fried egg, bacon, and peanut butter inside of it, and you've got a meal.
Crunchy peanut butter.
There you go.
And grilled
For the
pie.
fiber.
And grilled pie.
I like it.
Hey, we got somebody that takes it. You know, last Saturday, a week up, I judged one of the gumbo cook-offs.
Yeah.
And but this, I guess, with Alabama playing LSU, there's been a lot of talk about gumbo.
Uh-huh.
And somebody texted in, I think I know who did this, to our Facebook page, live Facebook page, potato salad and gumbo.
Pascagoula thing.
I've had some.
I saw people referring to that as LSU fans doing that online. You know, it's Pascagoula, Mississippi.
I've heard it's always been a Mississippi thing.
Yeah, it's Pascagoula,
And,
Mississippi. It has nothing to do with LSU.
But I'm gonna tell you, I've had some really good gumbo with potato salad.
You know,
But
what you
I
will
like
find
a
is-
mustard base though.
Yeah.
in it. But I've also had grits.
Yeah, that's a New Orleans thing. It's called gumbo grits, which is funny because it's grits with gumbo on top. But yeah, in fact, when I was at Lucky, we entered a gumbo cook-off over at Orange Beach, came in 4th place because Stuart didn't read the rules and see what they were judging for was the most authentic gumbo.
I see.
And I did one with Conecuh crawfish as the only seafood and
Wow.
cheese grits.
251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish Social Club call and texting line.
Mobile, Alabama, please forgive me. I've been gone too long.
For more than 50 years, Mobile Bay Magazine has showcased the history, style, arts, dining, and entertainment that defines excellence on both sides of Mobile Bay. Each month's issue is filled with our unique Southern Alabama
Like our
culture,
thumbnail this week,
beautifully
is
captured
the
and told through
basketball
engaging
season.
articles and stunning photography. When you subscribe to Mobile Bay Magazine, you'll be swept into the pages where recipes,
Stay
familiar
good for you.
places, and faces, and untold stories abound. Start
Yeah, and my negative wood, they call it heels.
MobileBayMag.com. That's MobileBayMag.com.
Your business.
I didn't know that about this.
Pop or soda?
That makes sense because I mean, like a baguette, oh man, this is thick. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta,
Wi-Fi
I
backup
love.
will keep your business up and running, even when your power
You
goes
know
out.
what the
Everybody in the warehouse,
president of
good?
Argentina
Lights
said?
are out.
She
With the
knows
Wi-Fi's up,
what
let's
they
power
pay.
on.
It's from the company
Are
with
you talking about Marie
99.9%
Antoinette
network
and the
reliability.
French Revolution?
Great,
She
you
said
get?
the
Can't
two
microwave
down
my
there,
burrito,
down
but
there.
Wi-Fi's fine.
Uh,
Power on
What,
with the leader in
Marie
connectivity.
Antoinette said
Comcast Business.
was
Powering
because it was a
possibilities.
disconnect
Learn how to get
between
Comcast Business Internet
the
and
wealthy
security
and
edge
the
plus
poor
Wi-Fi
with
backup
her out
for
of bread.
$59 a
I mean,
month for
Kate,
12 months
so
with a
you
2-year
just they
agreement.
had
Try
cake.
Comcast
Right,
Business
because
Unlimited
she
Mobile
had cake.
and ask how to get up to a $600
It was
prepaid
disconnect.
card for
Made the
qualifying
mistake
gift money.
of
No wait,
saying that
call
they
or
were
go
poor,
online
period.
today.
They didn't have anything at all.
I'm sorry,
Restrictions
the
apply.
one
New customers
woman down
only
in
with 300
Argentina
megabits per
said,
second internet,
don't,
secure edge, and
don't
Wi-Fi
cry.
backup.
No,
Eco bill and
the
auto pay
real,
required.
the real
Required
thing.
text
she
and
went
fee
up
fixture
to
is subject to change.
Don't cry for me.
Don't
Don't cry for me.
We are the NFHS. That stands for
I'm
the
only
National
the
Federation
first
of
lady
State
in
High
the
School
country because I was a
Associations.
hot white American
Really,
chick who married
what
this
we
guy.
stand for, together
Grace
with the
Kelly.
AHSAA, are the
Grace Kelly is
138,000 high
beautiful.
school sports students in Alabama. And so we stand. We stand for the runners.
Yeah, I saw
soccer,
something
and
recently on
basketball
Marie
players.
Antoinette
We
about
stand for
they
their
have
coaches, administrators,
casting of
and
her face
officials. We stand for
that's
the
on display.
swimmers, football players,
Oh,
and
the death
wrestlers.
mask?
Yeah,
We stand for the
do that a lot.
golfers,
Yeah.
softball, and
And I was
volleyball
like,
players.
wow.
We stand as the national leader and
It was
advocate
nothing
for
like,
high school
the
athletics.
Keep in
And
mind,
all
they also,
participate
they also
and
used to
make
think
them
it was okay to
possible.
own it.
Because it is our
Yeah,
purpose
yeah,
to
yeah.
ensure
Yeah,
Well,
that
you got a
high
little
school
bit
students get
Way
to
before
play, perform, and compete together. To learn
Actually,
more about who
the
we are,
French
what we stand
Revolution
for,
occurred because
visit
French people were inspired by the
nfhs.org.
French Revolution occurred because of that. In fact, Thomas Jefferson was
I'm confident we're gonna be better.
which is where the concept of separation of church and state comes from. Wasn't in the Constitution at all. It was the Jefferson's letters that he wrote to the revolutionary government of France. What his idea.
Right.
Yeah, I was just shocked that the face mask didn't look like Kirsten Dunst. That's what I was.
No.
Trying to-
House
For
Pro,
more than a
when it's House Pro,
decade,
later
Sip
too.
and Chew with
Oh.
Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Mike, thanks some people.
Oh, Stu's getting into it over here. Hey, we want to say thank you to our friends at Bob's Downtown Diner on the corner of Fat Happy, which is celebrating a 10-year anniversary this week.
10 years.
10 year. Friday was the
That's
actual
a
day, I think. But they celebrated yesterday. They closed the streets off there by Bob's. They had
the whole corner of Fat Happy to
they
themselves.
did. They did. And they had Dunkin' booth, and they had just a good old time. I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but I went there this morning, had breakfast, and it
Saw
was
the
awesome.
I saw the aftermath.
Everybody was happy. Happy. That's a happy group of people that work there. But I think a few of them were like kind of slow today, moving a little slower.
For that kind of party.
But speaking of which, Tony Sawyer is going to be calling in at the bottom of the hour. He is the proprietor of Bob's Downtown Diner, as we call this. Actually, Bob's Downtown Restaurant. But we want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Get out there and ask for it in stores now available in certain locations in Baldwin County. Go to all the grocery stores and ask for it over there. Please do. And we want to thank Butch Cassie's there on Florida Street. Heart of Flochelle. But
Florida Street.
Yeah. Hey, one little quick birthday. I want to say happy birthday to Jessica Tucker. Jessica Tucker happens to be, her birthday's tomorrow. Her birthday she just happens to work at Bob's Downtown.
Right.
So
there,
great.
So the
weekend.
whole party was for her.
Just about.
Yeah. It wasn't anything about 10-year anniversary.
Just about.
Jessica's birthday.
Just about. But we're going back to gumbo, and I'm gonna tell you, gumbo. We're in the right season for gumbo.
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah. Right now.
Because it's a good
End of the
hearty
shrimp
soup.
season, beginning of the oyster season, so you get plenty of both.
Absolutely, and which is totally acceptable to use frozen shrimp. In there.
Just if you're buying shrimp, you're buying unless you're getting it off of a day boat. A boat that goes out that morning, comes back that afternoon. It's absolutely frozen. Has to be, because those shrimp boats go out for 6 weeks at a time.
They do.
Yeah,
they do. That's for sure. But and there are a number of places you can get fresh shrimp just like right off the boats.
Oh yeah,
a lot of
Dog
cases.
River Marina is a good place to go for that. There are a lot of places in Balabatry and Codin as well.
Oh yeah, and then
my brother's got a man. He's got a guy.
He knows a guy that knows the guy. That is the guy.
Yeah, he knows the guy.
Yeah, there you go. But also there's a few people set up around town in their truck. They've been doing that for decades.
Yeah, they buy them from the guy.
Yeah,
they're the guy with the guy.
That's it. That's it. But you'll see them around town. And they're back got their big old white ice chest in the back of their pick 'em up trucks. And oh man, but yeah, this is gumbo season, and I still remember judging one contest, and come to find out it was Matt from Lodi Beer Gardens who did it, and he did the pickled red onions and pickled okra in the gumbo, and it was delicious. Delicious. So, and of course, all the competitions I was involved in.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Well, whenever back in the day of the Dolphin Island Gumbo Cook-Off, I would do a demonstration every Friday night, the night before, and all I ever did was spins on gumbo.
Yeah.
I didn't demonstrate how to make traditional gumbo because there were 2 other people on the island doing that same demonstration. One year I did what I called a Mobile Bay gumbo.
Yeah.
It started with duck stock. Because Mobile Bay, if you don't know, Mobile Delta, one of the best places in America to go duck hunting. People come from all over the world to go duck hunting.
I did in high school. I used to go duck hunting before I went to school in the morning.
You gotta like cold, wet weather.
Oh my God, yeah.
Shrimp, because they're born in the bay. Oysters, flounder, and that went over well. One year I did my deconstructed gumbo, which is a bed of rice with what I called seafood gravy. It's essentially the seafood stock with no seafood in it.
Okay.
Just a thick roux with seafood stock in it.
Okay.
And then what was 1 grilled shrimp, 1 boiled crawfish, 1 fried crab claw, 1 fried oyster, and then a grilled piece of Hall's andouille sausage.
Okay.
And all around the edges so that you got what you want. And then we would top the whole thing with fried okra.
Fried okra.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, everything was it was deconstructed, which meant everything, all the components were compared separately.
Okay.
And then reassembled in a different way.
Okay.
So it was all the components of a gumbo, but it didn't look anything like gumbo.
One thing
deconstructed, in other words, taken separately. Okay, I got you.
One thing I've noticed that really stood out to me the last competition I judged last week ago, was the rice. And I don't like that lumpy white rice.
I want to ask, does it have to be white rice?
To me, it's got too much of a metallic taste when you do it. I like parboiled, but some of the best gumbo I've had was with wild rice.
That's what I was going to go with.
Yeah. And the bakery used to do wild rice in their gumbo, and it gave more texture and flavor to it, and it just really made the gumbo pop even more.
Which is more traditional, Stu?
Well, considering we're talking about a Louisiana style gumbo
okay.
here.
Yeah.
Remember, it comes from Africa where there was no rice. But the rice introduction happened in Louisiana, which was their main cash crop.
Okay.
And that is your long grain rice, your everyday normal rice. That's what Louisiana grew, so that's what goes in it.
Okay.
I personally like either basmati or jasmine rice because each individual rice kernel stays separate. It doesn't go mushy.
Well, that's what I like
But they're
about
light and tender.
that's what I like about parboiled. It doesn't
Right.
mushy.
It's sticky or mushy.
Yeah, I can't stand that sticky mushy, and just it lumps up in the gumbo. I want my rice to float around in the gumbo, mix around in it, and the parboiled doesn't stick together.
It's the same thing with red beans and rice kind of thing. I mean,
But he wants the red beans all mushed up.
I want a
That's
good roux
interesting.
in my gravy on that. But tell us about the difference between parboiled and long grain and basmati and
Well, you have to understand that rice is grass. It's the seed part of grass.
Yeah.
And included in that grass also are other things that we eat. Wheat, corn is a grass, rye is a grass. But rice particularly, there are different strands of that same family. Wild rice grows on the American-Canadian border exclusively, like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and parts of Canada. So there's no way wild rice is part of gumbo. Doesn't mean you can't use it in it if you like it, but it's darker in color, much grassier, much woodier.
Yeah.
Whereas the long grain rice that the Carolinas and Louisiana are famous for is what we all think of as rice. Parboiled is long grain rice that is cooked halfway.
Yeah.
And then dried back out.
Part being part.
Yeah,
Okay.
partially boiled is what parboiled means. And that's your quick rice, your minute rice that takes 5 minutes. I don't see how that market can ever work. But I'll tell you, Ben's and a lot of other brands now have the rice completely cooked in a little envelope that you tear the corner and put it in the microwave for 90 seconds. To me, that's a lifesaver. As a guy by himself, I don't need to make a batch of rice.
Right. Well, for me, minute rice has the little cups.
Right.
It
It's
just
the same
pop it in the
process.
microwave for a minute on
Yeah.
high. And I'm gonna tell you what, for me, I'd get the wild white rice or the blend.
Yeah.
And they have everything that we're talking about for a single person. That's great.
Yeah, it really is. And another thing is there's this whole hang up with the low carb fanatics. Oh, the white rice has too many carbs. You want to be healthy, you need to eat the brown rice. They don't eat brown rice in Japan. It's the healthiest nation in the world. They eat nothing but white rice.
And he's skinny.
Yeah, and going back to the basmati and the jasmine, those are Asian styles of rice that grow in their climates as opposed to what grows well here,
right.
which is the long grain style.
Jasmine rice
There's
is awesome.
there's lots of different rices. Risotto is made with a specific rice called arborio that looks more like round little pearls almost. It looks more like couscous or grits than it does rice, although it's a little bigger. It's got a lot of starch in it, which is what makes risotto so luxurious.
Thick.
It's not the addition of cream and cheese.
That's what causes
It's
the
from the
thickness.
rice.
Oh,
And it's very labor intensive. You have to sit there and stir it in a specially made pot for 45 minutes. But it's also incredible.
Real quick before we go on break, wash your rice before you cook it or after? Or
I
not?
never do.
I never do either.
It depends on what you want to do. If you wash it, it won't stick as bad.
All
You're getting
right.
rid of the excess starch.
Well, folks, when we come back, we're going to be talking to Tony Sawyer and see what happened yesterday. See if he'll let us know if anybody got out of hand.
Everybody got out of here because Mike worked. Everybody got out of hand because you watched
Thursday
it.
night at 7, Auburn fans can weigh in with Tiger Talk.
Mr. Sawyer,
Yeah, buddy.
how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. This is Steve, producer at FM Talk 106.5. We'll sit with you, so I just want to make sure I got you transferred from the call room into here, all right? If you've got background noise, which sounds like you do, go ahead and kind of move away from that or hold off if you can. If not, we'll just call it ambiance. How's that?
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right.
Is it too loud back here?
Well, it can be at times, so just we'll try and be conscious of it here. Otherwise, if you get disconnected, just call us back on the same number, which is 251-343-0106. Otherwise, you should hear the audio coming down the phone line just like you would if you were in the room. All right?
You got it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Hang on.
All right, bye-bye. Hey, let everybody know to quiet down. I'm going to do a radio show.
Before your holiday guests arrive, just give us a call.
Hold the noise.
Take care of all your pest-related needs. Just give us a
Kids,
call
be
at
quiet.
888-208.
That'll be the first time they'll start yelling and screaming every time. Oh, my God.
Happy holiday season.
My kids would never do anything, never call, never do anything, right? Get on a phone call.
My best friend used to get so aggravated, his daughters, they'd go to a restaurant while they're all sitting there, and she's like, wow, and people at every table could hear the waitress come up. What do you want to drink? Here you go. You better answer her the way you've been talking, or you're not going to have anything to drink.
My son was very quiet too, just like that, very quiet.
Yeah, he goes,
Everything was Sprite, chicken fingers. It didn't matter where you went, chicken fingers.
Don't go running your mouth, top of your lungs, and when someone asks you a question, you listen. I said, you'll sit here and watch the rest of the beat if you do. And there were a couple of times she would get quiet and she just needed. And she just had to sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
And as soon as the waitress walked away, she'd be loud as she could be.
Yeah.
That's just a shot. You going to bed hungry?
Confident.
That's my.lanyapmobile.com.
But she also had to use the sippy cup until she was 14 because she could not get a drink at the restaurant. So he said, we need to drink it out of the kids' cup. You might learn to stop doing it. At 14, she figured it out.
Yeah, my son was pretty quiet like that until, and he even called me, got into college and he had to take a course involved public speaking and, part of what he was studying now. He said, public service. Like, you're going to have to talk, dude. Now you can't shut him up.
He should go on the radio.
Well, now he didn't want to do what Dad did. He's scared of that. My daughter can talk too. It's like, oh my God. She was always
Southern style.
like, Dad, tell me a little loud.
1065.
All righty, we're back, and we have a special guest on the line. Is Tony Sawyer, the owner and proprietor of Bob's Downtown Diner, just celebrated 10 years in the business.
A decade.
A decade, yes. Hey, Tony, how you doing, buddy?
Great, man. How are you guys?
Oh, we're good.
Let me pop on the air real quick with you guys.
All right.
You pay the bills, man. You come on anytime you want.
You're awesome.
So
what's going on today,
well, we're talking about your place, man. I went in there, had an awesome breakfast this morning. Had the meatloaf omelet, got some pancakes, got some cheese grits, and some fried bacon. Man, I was set.
What do you mean you had the badass omelet?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I can see Mike sticking to that diet.
Not today. Not today. So.
Because it's a 10-year anniversary.
Well, thank you, man. It's super impressive that I've actually done something for 10 years in my life.
In a row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a great ride, you guys. It's been a roller coaster. Good, bad. Ups, downs, ins and outs. And, and I just want to tell the people out there listening in the radio world, thank you. Thank you guys for supporting us and supporting local businesses, mom and pop joints all around the country and all around this world. And, we do strive to, to make things better for people and, more enjoyable. And it's just awesome that, you know, the response that we've gotten down at Bob's down there on the corner of Fat and Happy throughout the years. So thank you to all the guests that have ever graced us with y'all's presence. Thank you.
My question is, how did you come up with a meatloaf omelet?
Well, there's a little trick to the trade, and I'm not going to share that online with y'all. I mean,
it's okay. It's legal in some states.
I didn't know if there was an inspiration is where I was going with that. Though.
Legal in some states, yes. Thank you. You got it.
Yeah, I've yet to come down there and try it, but it is on my list of things to try out. I've been hanging out in Sims the last few months. Just,
I hear you.
Yeah, just enjoying nature. We got a beautiful place down here, and you do a whole lot to give back to this community, Tony.
Well, thank you. You know, it's you know, the community, without a community behind you, you're not going to grow, and you're not going to be a part of it. That's what I always want to do, is be a part of the community, you know, and watch our community flourish. And it's really, you know, it's been exhilarating, man. I mean, you know, like yesterday, for example, here we are at the Dunkin' booth, and you know, raising money for the Ronald McDonald House. We raised $1,585, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think I still got a lot of that water up my nostrils back. So, you know, I woke up super early this morning, about 4 o'clock again, and got dressed and went down to the restaurant and, you know, started putting stuff away and really, you know, trying to help those girls and guys out that are down there busting their ass each and every day and making it delightful for people to, you know, come down and eat and join us and so on and so forth. So anyway, I, you know, got up really early this morning. First thing was on my mind was the beer cooler. You know, had gotten a little warm yesterday or something about the beer. Anyway, that was my first thought of mine. You know, I got to go down and stage this product. Anyway, it was something really simple where it wasn't plugged in right.
In there.
So, yeah. So I didn't eat breakfast this morning, and you know what? My buddies down at Tenth Bistro they do a Sunday brunch, a jam up job down at Tenth. I'm gonna go down there and eat some breakfast. So, yeah, I'm sitting down here at Tenth at the bar right now, having a crab cake Benedict. And
that looked good. You sent me a picture. It looked great.
I did. Yeah, they do a real good job. They, you know, Chris and David and Jeremy down here, they're awesome folks, and the people that work with them too, they do a jam up job.
Well, you know, but downtown Mobile, not only your places, a number of places down there do a great job with brunch and just food in general. You got the Blind Mule not too far from you, Penton's now, and what other places down there? I think Chuck's, is this Chuck's the brunch?
I don't know if Chuck does. I know Grace does.
Grace, yeah.
Yeah, Grace's brunch is awesome. You know, Noel and Mike down there, they always do a great job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, get out, eat local, support local, man.
Absolutely, for sure.
And let me tell you, you know, I mean, I've also been down here several times for dinner. Man, you want to talk about awesome stuff? Yum yum.
Oh yeah, we're blessed, the downtown area, to have so many great restaurants, and you got a variety of everything from sports bars to sandwich shops to downright fine dining. You know, you got it all downtown.
Yeah, and it's been a struggle downtown the last year. So really appreciate anybody that can get downtown and go to Bob's, go to Mediterranean Sandwich Company, any of the places that are down there. Because the last year has been a real struggle for downtown restaurants. Tony, you wouldn't believe the difference if you went out to West Mobile. West Mobile restaurants are packed almost every night.
And a lot of them are chains.
Yeah, and it's because of that whole work from home thing.
Yeah.
These were the people who used to work downtown and would go to your place for lunch or other places for lunch and then stay for dinner when they got off work. Well, if they're not downtown, there's nobody downtown.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, and I've seen a lot of businesses that were downtown, you know, bringing their employees back 100%. You know, so I can see. Not all of them, but I know of, you know, a lot of them that have brought their employees back, which is great for all of downtown restaurants and businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's surprising that if you let people just stay at home to do their work, they're not as productive.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't work from home. I wouldn't get anything done. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, my sister is an accountant and has been for you know, to the point that she's getting ready to retire this year. And when they worked from home, she did not like it as much.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not disciplined enough to work from home.
We're gonna be disciplined, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Routines, man.
That's it.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Make yourself a routine each and every day. The way you wake up, brush your teeth, you drink your coffee, watch your news, flip through face crack, whatever it is. You know, just put part of your routine and get consistent.
Well, I'm a sociaholic anyway. I gotta have my socialism. I'm a socializer.
Marxist. Tony, my new thing when I wake up in the morning is to watch police body cam footage on YouTube. And do you know what this body cam has done? It has shown us that cops are up against a whole lot more now than they ever have been before, and for the most part, they're handling it great. Yeah.
Toughest job, dude. I mean, I respect all law enforcement. You know, I mean, I'm behind them 110%. I back them.
Yeah.
You know, if they do something stupid, that's on them. You know,
right?
It's not all of their fault. It's just that one individual.
Yeah, yeah. They ought to put body cams on teachers too.
They ought to put body cams on servers.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit! You want to talk about excuse my language?
God.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, body cams on servers would be interesting, because that's one of the things the body cams are doing is the people get a slap on the wrist from the judge, but now they're out there for the world to ridicule. People have lost jobs because of racial slurs that they threw at police officers, you know, and cussing them and telling them they hope their kids get cancer and all of this.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, and then it shows up on YouTube, and the YouTube snoops start pounding their business with "you need to fire them."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, but get out, support local folks. I mean,
absolutely.
You know,
support local.
Doing it today. I mean, Chris and David come over to my place and eat. You know, we're Bob's all the time, and I want to support them down here at Fenton's Bistro, and you know, in the old 219 building.
Spread.
They've done a fabulous job remodeling this. Food's fantastic.
I've eaten there twice, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have not made it down there. I have not been downtown since I shuttered my doors.
Yeah, come to Benton and ask for Kat too. She's a great bartender. She's Mobil's bartender from the ARH.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are located close to the ISIS temple, right? Is that correct? Or is it the temple there?
No, Bob's is, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Yeah, Bob's is.
Yeah.
Corner of Happy Brother.
Right across a block from the temple.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure.
Well, Tony, we got the holidays coming up. Thanksgiving is less than 3 weeks away now. You got anything special planned during the holidays down at Bob's?
You know what? I mean, other than closing for a week of Thanksgiving to give my staff time with their families, no, I don't think we do.
Well, you just get geared up to make some money, aren't you?
Well, I mean, you know, listen, no, sorry about that. Totally blew my mind. Yeah, I'm starting to do more and more catering too, your breakfast catering. So folks want to do breakfast catering. I'm starting a delivery service downtown on the golf course. So
yeah, that's right.
Things are starting to happen, you know. Let's get this ball and chain moving, you know, come first of the year. That's for damn sure.
And if Tony's out riding around at night on his golf carts, he'll deliver you home.
He ain't driving all the way out to Sims.
No, not that way. You catch him at the right time, you might. All right, man.
Well, love you guys. Thank
love
you.
you too,
Thank
man.
you, Tony.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversary, buddy.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
Well done.
That's Tony Sawyer, owner, proprietor, and head bottle washer at Bob's Downtown Restaurant at the corner of Fat and Happy.
Yes, indeed. It's a fun place. It's a fun place.
Yeah, he gives back so much to the community there.
Oh,
Mardi
my
Gras
God.
when he feeds the law enforcement officers. And
yeah,
supports first responders a lot. And in the true spirit of philanthropy, you don't know 99% of the stuff Tony does.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
First ever recipient of the Sip and Chew Spirit of Hospitality.
Yes, we got somebody who's do that we're gonna get around to it. eventually. We got a couple friends of ours that do it and deserve it. So
just what they give back to the community that we know of that most of you don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that we are privileged to not only know about, but to call these people friends.
Absolutely. So, well, okay. I know I've already had breakfast, but I just Tony sent a picture of what he was having for breakfast or brunch, and it looked really good.
I have never been a huge Eggs Benedict guy. I like the riffs on them a whole lot better, like a crab cake Benedict instead of the English muffins.
Yeah.
Hollandaise sauce I can live without. To me, it's just warm mayonnaise. It's a whole lot of trouble to make.
Yeah.
But that looks good.
That did. 251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish Social Club call and text in line.
Chicken ice cream.
I found this place last night when I went up to Walmart.
Celebrate the great outdoors every Saturday morning at 7 with FM Talk 106.5 Outdoors. Brought to you in part by Blue Water Yacht Sales in Mobile and Orange Beach. Make your boating dreams come true and listen to FM Talk 106.5 Outdoors.
The old Smith
years. Mobile Bay Magazine has showcased the history, style, arts, dining, and entertainment that defines excellence on both sides of Mobile Bay.
There's a place not far from there on Carroll Plantation Road that is really authentic. The market and the restaurant are behind the fence when they're closed.
Yes.
That place is phenomenal.
I heard.
Go get you some menudo in the morning. Menudo is a soup that the Mexicans traditionally drink after a hard night of sleep.
Your business needs a network it can count on. Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes down.
Everybody in the warehouse good? Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9%
There, I mean, if
network
you go
reliability.
to that corner, you can straight
Can't
down.
microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet and Security Edge plus Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Unlimited Mobile. And ask
I don't know, but that's not called Access Temple. What is that called?
qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go
It
online today.
changes
Ends
depending on who's
11/17.
leasing it at the moment.
Supply.
Mason's
New customers
Temple,
only
I think
with
it
300
It
megabits
was
internet,
the Scottish
Security Edge,
Rite.
and Wi-Fi
Yeah,
backup.
okay.
Eco Bill and auto pay
Scott
required.
Gonzalez
Equipment
owns
tax
the
and
deal,
fees extra and
Free
separate change.
Georgia Candy for Nut House.
If you or someone you
just
know
calls
is
it the
struggling
Temple.
with addiction, please
It's
call
for
this
sale.
toll-free number
It's been for
right
sale
now,
for 2 years.
800-410-4036. That's 800-410-4036. Calling your addiction team. You're taking the first steps
They're
to
kind of
recovery.
alone right
Don't
there, ain't
fight
they?
addiction alone. Their advisors are
Right
ready to
across
take
from,
your call. Your future
Buddy
is
Park.
still a bright
Ron Hill's
place. The
there.
help you need could be one call away.
Well, they're down through the
800-410-4036. That's 800-410-4036. This call is completely confidential, and if you have private insurance, there could be little to no cost
right
to
behind
you, even if
Notion
you've already
and
been to
Haley's.
treatment. Give us a call. There is no need to let addiction ruin your
Oh, I'm
life.
still
Take
thinking
the
about
first
Scottish
step
Rite.
now.
You got
Call our
Stables.
addiction
Stables
team
is
at
right next to it in the wine mill.
800-410-4036. That's 800-410-4036. Make the free call now. 800-410-4036. Your addiction team is a third-party advertiser for various treatment centers and placement networks. Individual results will vary. Visit youraddictionteam.com/terms for more information.
Hello again, friends. I'm Randy Bergen, inviting you to join me, Coach Rick Cleveland, and Coach Mark Lassiter for the Thompson Tractors Prep Sports Report. We'll be coming to you live from the Eastern Shore Toyota and Hyundai
Oh, I was
Studios
thinking
for
of that.
2 hours
That
beginning
was-
at 8 a.m.
Yeah, that
every
was
Saturday
fun.
morning.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
visit with
that's
coaches,
called-
athletes,
that's called
administrators,
Bar
and
9.
more as we keep you
Yeah,
up to date
Bar
on
9.
all
One of
things
my
prep
accounts.
along the
They
coast
also own
and the
Whiskey
state
Bay
of Alabama.
over
Wake
in
up with the Prep Sports Report team this Saturday morning starting at 8 a.m. right here on FM Talk 106.5.
BlackBerry is audio duct tape. Weird is fixing what's broken. Don't ask them to solve your problem. The Michael Berry Show, the real deal. Weekdays at 6. Let it all hang out on FM Talk 106.5. For more than a decade, they are the dynamic duo of dining. Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Michael,
Yes.
let's thank a few people.
Okay.
Let's go in reverse order.
Okay.
Let's start in Flochelle. Who would you think if you were thinking somebody in Flochelle?
Probably Butch Cassidy's.
The cafe or the actual guy?
The restaurant. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Of course, the restaurant.
Well, what if you went to Chickasaw? Would you want to thank anybody in Chickasaw?
Well, I don't go to Chickasaw much, but I do go grocery shopping. I go to the grocery store. I always look for Hall sausage and wholesale meat products.
Yeah.
Always. Incidentally, I was going to go Thursday night to the Piggly Wiggly in Fairhope for their Taste of LA, but my body was beat. I texted Deborah Hodges and I said, Deborah, I don't feel good. I am beat down.
Whooped.
I cannot stand up.
He was whooped.
And smile at people tonight. So I was going to go help her out at the taste. They get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to show up to those things at Piggly Wiggly.
Well, if it's a Thursday, Deborah, let me know. I actually have Thursdays available.
There you go.
I'm doing anything, laying around the house and napping.
Call Stu.
I got up early Thursday morning because I get up at the same time the alarm goes off, whether it goes off or not. I might sleep an extra 15 or 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
No other reason. The dogs won't let me sleep. Fed the dogs, made myself a nice ham and cheese omelet, and then did what I normally do. Then went back to sleep, took a nap. But it's usually like, 20-minute nap, something like that.
Yeah.
I woke up 3:30 in the afternoon. And I think it was sinuses.
Probably.
Because it's just the pollen has been so bad lately.
Oh, yeah.
But with this little bit of drizzle every day, I notice, get a little better. A little better.
Little breather. So. Yes. And we just had Tony Sawyer of Bob's Downtown Diner. I think those guys, they've been with us a long time. And it's just a great place to hang out and to meet people. I've noticed, I was sitting there this morning, people from out of state, out-of-towners, out of state, just sitting there at the bar or around the tables, just talking to each other from different parts of the country. Never met them before in their lives, each other in their lives. And it's just a great little place to hang out and meet people, get a mimosas or a Bloody Mary, and they got spicy Bloody Marys there. Or some Bailey's Irish cream in your coffee, Irish whiskey. So anyway,
no relation.
Now, next Sunday,
not this Sunday.
Speaking of whiskey, but it's actually a bourbon. Next Sunday,
anything brown is whiskey.
Yeah. Next Sunday is the Bourbon by the Bay.
That's a great event.
Except it's not by the bay this year.
Oh,
it's at the Temple downtown.
What's the Temple's next to the bay?
Well, close, yeah.
Well, because it's in downtown Mobile, and downtown Mobile is right on the bay.
It's City by the Bay.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I like to call Mobile the Lady by the Bay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I like that because the City by the Bay is San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wasn't until Journey immortalized it in the song, but
great song.
Prior to that, it is a great song.
Great song, great band. But yes, next Sunday is Bourbon by the Bay. If you hadn't got tickets, go online, go to their Facebook page, order some tickets. This is a fun event.
Oh, it is spectacular.
And you can still get. I think VIP tickets are still
available. If it's
available.
at the Temple, that means Tony can drop us off and take us back. There you go.
I can walk there
for a few more.
I can walk there, but and I like it at Brooklyn. I like it at Brooklyn too. But
that's a cool space out there.
Somebody asked me what the benefit of it being at the Temple. I said the bathrooms are closer.
They are. That wasn't. I just didn't bother going. It was like, I'll stop at Waffle House on the way out.
Yeah, but it's a great event, and people who are big bourbon people love their bourbon.
Which is me. I love whiskey. Love whiskey.
Well, I've got to go to the next tequila tasting.
The higher end tequila is up there with whiskey. It's on par with that. The same things that I enjoy about whiskeys, I enjoy about high end tequila.
Yeah.
Low end tequila. If it's not a margarita, who cares?
Well, if it's in a margarita, and speaking of margarita, I like mango margaritas.
Yes, you do.
Frankie has great ones down there at Roosters.
Yeah.
Aztecas, and so does Hacienda San Miguel. The House of Tequila has them. And the big one, the big place now that everybody's talking about and raving about, Tulum over to Spanish Fort.
Oh, really?
It's different.
Yeah.
and I think this one right across the street, that used to be Old Charlie's right by the radio station, is going to be close to what Tulum is. There's going to be an upper scale Mexican restaurant.
You know, the diversity of Mexico City's food cuisine is on par with anything in the world. Mexico is even making their own wines.
Yeah.
And they're a big part of the dining scene in Mexico City. I've seen a few documentaries. But keep in mind, folks, New York City is Gilbertown, Alabama, up next to Mexico City. We think of New York being the biggest city in the world. It hasn't been in decades. Mexico City is 3 or 4 times larger than New York City. I believe it's the largest metropolitan area in the world. Like 25
it
million
was
people.
at one time.
Yeah, like 25 million people. New York's still stuck at 8 million.
Wow.
Yeah, New York. I don't even know if New York is in the top 10.
I thought it was like 13, but it fluctuates.
Well, there's been such an explosion of large cities in the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and parts of Africa. Towns that were the size of Mobile in 1990 are bigger than New York now. You know, there's lots. It's spectacular to see the diversity. The architecture and everything. It's incredible to see, but it also is alarming with the explosion of population.
Well, Nicholas Catina, who owned Catina Zapata Winery in Argentina, he's from Mexico City, and that's why at the winery he designed the main building like a Mayan temple. And I've been there, and he is, like I said, he's native of Mexico City, but the diversity that Mexico City does have, you know, Asians, and it's got a mix of everything, I believe. Just like any big city.
Your favorite thing that would be in Mexico food is the al pastor taco, which is the pork and pineapple roasted together. Comes from is it Monterrey, Mexico? Pueblo, Mexico. That's the only place really that you find in Mexico. And it's cooked on shawarmas, like at Mediterranean Sandwich Company, because they had, for a while, a large Middle Eastern contingent there in Pueblo. When they moved out, they left the shawarmas and they came up with the al pastor to make with them, which is just, you know, pork and pineapple interlayered on a big stack that spins around a heat source and cooks all day long.
So is pineapple, I guess you could grow it in Mexico.
No.
The different climate, type climate.
Yeah, it may even be native to Mexico and Central America.
Yeah, I know Indian says he loves tomato gravy and biscuits Benedict too. So you're in good company.
Beef and tomato gravy.
I've tried.
But you know, Hawaii is up big with the pork and pineapple.
Yeah.
And
well, we introduced the pork to it.
Okay.
Yeah, Americans in the form of Spam.
Well, folks, get out there, support. I like Spam. Yeah, the support local, be local, buy local. Servers earn your tips. Please tip servers. There's still a big struggle out there in the economy we have today.
Yeah.
And
Mike, what else should they do?
I think they should get out there and
provolone.
Bye-bye.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now. Don't get me wrong.
Goodbye.
Sitting